is time that our political leaders are held to account for what they've done to Britain and Europe. For the last 20 years, a very small collection of third-rate narcissistic egomaniacs have managed to make decisions on immigration, both legal and illegal, that have irreversibly changed an entire continent for the worse. The threat of Islamist terrorism has gone through the roof. In the last few days alone, since it's kicked off between Hamas and Israel, we've seen a teacher stabbed to death in France by a bloke on a terror watch list. We've seen a jihadi gunman rampaging through Brussels on a moped, shooting people at will. Synagogues have been firebombed in Germany. 6 French airports have been closed due to bomb threats. People are pouring red paint over Jewish schools in Britain. And people are being told to remain vigilant when they go to gatherings, just like watching England play football at Wembley. This is just in the last few days. I mean, there is an ongoing terror investigation as well after a man was stabbed to death outside a migrant hotel in Hartlepool. That was a few days ago. That flew under the radar, didn't it? The people of Europe did not consent to scenes like this. Here is a Tunisian chap who is known to authorities having pledged allegiance to ISIS, dressed in bright orange, rampaging through the EU's capital city of Brussels, shooting Swedish football fans at will, because in Sweden they've been burning copies of the Quran, apparently. The people of Europe did not consent to this either. A man also on a terror watch list shouting Allahu Akbar and stabbing a teacher to death. I am sick and tired of abnormality becoming normal, of extreme acts of religious-based violence being considered normal. We all do thoughts and prayers. We wear black armbands at the football. We light a few candles. We put the French flag as our profile picture. And our politicians have the nerve to come out and tell us that we will not let it defeat us. They're not the ones dying, are they? They're not the ones on the front line of the problem. That their decisions about mass uncontrolled immigration, very often illegal immigration, have created. We've got talk in the House of Commons today about, guys, deporting any foreign national with links to Hamas. Why the heck did you let them in the first place? Seriously. I mean, how many times do we have to go through the same thing over and over again? Where was this jihadi from? Oh, somewhere outside Europe. Were they known to authorities? Yes, they were. Did they have a history of violence? Oh, yeah, they did, yeah. Did they enter illegally? Possibly, quite hard to tell. Had we lost track of them? Yeah, we had, yeah. Have people now died as a result? Yes, they have. I mean, good grief. This is before we've even started talking about the wholesale cultural and societal change. I'm just talking about the dangerous stuff here. Now, it's important to stress that the majority of people who come to live in Europe obviously aren't bad, evil people. But uncontrolled migration means that a few incredibly dangerous individuals are able to slip through undetected. A group of blithering idiots, often unelected, have over the course of the last couple of decades made decisions that have made all of our lives less safe, and they are not held to account for this. And the solution? More of it. More of it. Just look at Humza Yousaf here.
In the past, people in Scotland and across the UK have opened our hearts and our homes. We've welcomed those from Syria, from Ukraine and many other countries. Conference, we must do so again. I'm calling today on the international community to commit to a worldwide refugee programme for the people of Gaza.
Oh, grief, OK. We all know that not everybody in Gaza supports Hamas or is a terrorist, and I want to make that very clear. But he must be having a flipping laugh if he thinks that willingly importing people from one of the most militant Islamist hotspots in the world is a good idea at this point in time. I mean, even Arab nations don't want to do it. Here's Jordan's King Abdullah.
No refugees in Jordan, no refugees in Egypt. This is a situation of humanitarian dimension that has to be dealt inside of Gaza and the West Bank, and not to try and push the Palestinian challenge and their future onto other people's shoulders.
Yeah, Scotland as well, I think, apparently needs to deal with that challenge. I am absolutely seething about politicians making catastrophic judgment calls and playing roulette with our lives. We are now, as ordinary people in Europe, reaping what these cretins have sown. So few people with so few brain cells have managed to cause so much harm in Europe.